Welcome to our first practical class of this course of Python automation. If you've seen my previous video, then you are already set to go, and also you are totally set up for this whole course. If you didn't check out properly, then I would suggest you go check that video out properly and then come back to this class again. Because in this class, we were going to cover everything that you need to know about Python basic refreshers, variables, data types, and operators. Well, all of these are the data types or what you can apply in Python. So, if you also have no prior experience to Python, then this class is exactly correct for you. So, let's open up PyCharm on our device and let's get started with this class. As you can see on my screen, I have opened up PyCharm. First thing that I want to do is I'm going to click on New Project. And here, you can give it a different name. Let's say if you want to change it to, let's say, PythonBasics. Select up the Python version and click on Create. Now, on this file, a virtual environment will be created. You can see right over here. I'm going to click on Automatically. Okay, let's wait until it gives up all of these files and it's going to update these skeletons. And you can see updating skeletons over here, and Microsoft Defender configuration has also been done. Now, right over here, what we want to do is I'm going to show you about variables, data types, and operators. Well, these are the basic Python refreshers. Well, variables are used to store data in Python. You can think of it as a label for a value. Now, let's show you an example. Click on New, Python file. Let's say I'm going to name it example. If you want to work with variables, there are specific variables, and also you can name it whatever you want. Let's say I want to show you a variable. Let's say I have a name, which is going to be equal to Alice. Now, when you put in like this is going to work as a variable. Let's say in this case, age. In this case, I'm going to put in 26. This is also a specific variable. If you put in, let's say, time, or let's say instead of time, score, equal 26.7. This is also a specific type of variable. When you put in, let's say, float is equal to true. This is also a variable. Okay, so whatever you put in as an example to store a data is known as a variable. It doesn't matter if you put in like scar or if you put in like score, but you just have to make sure to put in the exact keyword whenever you are representing it. So that makes it a variable. And this is also a very valuable thing in Python or working with Python. You can also apply these same steps in other programming languages too. Now let's learn about the data types. Python supports different types of data, such as there are integer values, such as 26, we have 5, we have 6, or whatever numericals you use, even the negative values. All of these values or numericals are known as integer data types. Well, Python supports that perfectly. Then we have the float values, which are the decimal numbers, such as 76 or 67.2 or whatever number there is, just using a decimal value. And those are known as float, are also known as float64 data type. Then we have the string value. Now, string value are specifically defined with the double quotation after a variable. And whenever you define in using an alphabet, or let's say a word, or even a sentence, those are known as a string value. So these are basically texts. Then we have the Boolean value. Obviously, if you heard about Boolean, it only contains 0 or 1, or true or false. So those are the Boolean values. In this case, true, false. These are known as Boolean values. You can also put in 0 or even 1. Okay? But most cases are done with true and false. Then the last thing that we have are list, tuple, dictionary, and set value. Well, all of these are also the combination of these values of integer, float, string, or Boolean value. Whenever you are defining a list, you have to type in list. When you want a tuple, you have to type in tuple. You want dictionary, type in DICT. And if you want a set configuration or collection, type in set. And in that way, you'll be able to create your own specific data type. Now that we know about variables and also the data types, we also have to learn about the operators. So operators perform operations on variables and also specific values. Now there are different types of operators. There are specifically 4 types of operators, such as arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators, and assignment operators. Such as arithmetic operators are very simple, such as plus, minus, like this, plus, minus, then asterisk for multiplication, division, then we have double division, then you also have percentage, you also have double asterisk for power. For comparison operators, you can put in double equal, you can put in exclamation mark and then equal, you can put in greater than or less than sign, then put in greater than, equal, greater or equal than, then you can put in asterisk or equal than, like this. All of these are comparison operators. For logical operators, there is the AND gate, OR gate, and the NOT gate. And for the assignment operators, there is equal, there is plus or equal to, minus or equal to, and there is asterisk or equal to. All of these are assignment operators. Now, let's show you how you'll be able to apply them. Let's create a new file, Python file. Operators. Okay? First things first, I'm going to explain how variables store the data. In that case, let's put in a variable. Let's say name is going to be equal to double quotation. Now, another thing that I want to show you, even if you don't put in name, let's say I'm going to put in gnome. Gnome is going to be equal to Tim. Here I'm going to put in, let's say I'm going to put in double AGE. Then for numerical values, or let's say integer values, you don't have to put in double quotation. Let's say 50. And for height, I'm just going to put in the exact same keyword. Let's say 5 points or 5 here, 5, 4. Like this. But I would obviously suggest you to put it just like this. Okay? Now I'm going to print out each and every one of these values, double quotation. Let's say the name of that specific person that I want to define is going to be comma, and then put in the exact keyword, which is no. But if I put a name like this, it is not going to work. So here I'm going to put in no. I'm going to type in print, let's say age, comma. I'm going to put in age, just like this. I'm going to print in the height, comma, height. If you right click on this and click on run operators, and you can see we have the name Tim, age is 50, and height is 5.4. If I change this to name, if I put this to age, and if I try running this again, and you can see there is an error. That means whatever or however you define your variable, it doesn't matter if it is grammatically correct or not, but you just need to put the exact same keyword. If I put in name right here like this now, and I put in age like this right now, and if I run the operator, then you can see it is working properly. So variables can store different types of data and can be used for multiple times. And you can repeat it over and over again. Let's say if I put in print let's say I'm going to put in a string value. My name is, then here you're going to define in the variable. Here I'm going to put in the name value. Or here, comma, define in the name. Right click on this run operator. You can see my name is Tim. And after that, and my age is, let's say here, I'm going to put in double quotation, comma, or I can put in, let's say, age. Right click, run operators, and you can see there is a specific error. So let's remove this. Run the operator again. You can see this is still showing me as an error. If it shows you off as an error, let's put in a comma and run the operator. If it shows you off as an error a couple of times, then it is totally fine because there are multiple strings that are now being validated, or there are multiple strings. In that case, you have to make sure to put in the ampersand over here, just like this. Now you can run it and try it again. If it still doesn't work, it is totally fine because ampersand is also a specific variable. Okay, so here what you can do is you can try defining it with the third bracket, like this. Now, whenever you define it like this, now if you try running this, you might even see that the name and the age is defined like this. Okay, now if you're still using it like this, it is basically an older format to use these functions. But one thing is that you can see we have used two functions, but we do not need two. So let's make it simple for you. Let's cut this off over here too. You're going to keep it just like this, but what you want to do is you want to type in f at the beginning. Whenever you define it just like this and you want to end it right over here, then you can type or run the operator. And now you will see that my name is Tim and my age is 50. So even if you are working with various of these data, now you can also put in the height, and my height is defined in the height. Run the operator, and there we go. My name is Tim and my age is 50 and my height is 5.4. And here you can put in inches, or you can put in whatever you want to put. Okay, so this is basically how you're going to put in multiple variables and print out multiple of these variables at the same time. Now let's get into the data types. Here, what I want to do is I'm going to create another file. I'm going to say dtypes. In this dtypes, I'm going to start off with, let's say, an integer value. I'm going to put in the count value, such as 20. I'm going to define a float value. Price is equal to 19.78 cents. Then I'm going to define a string value equal to, let's say, double quotation, Python. If you want a Boolean value, let's say is student equal to true. Okay, now I'm going to print all of them one by one. First off, put in print, then define in the type of data that you want to print. Let's say I want to define or print out the count value. In this way, it should basically show me the count value right over here. I'm going to run the dtypes, and you can see class as integer. Now, if you want to print out what type of data is the price, type in print type. Here, I'm going to put in the price over here. Right click on it, run dtypes, and there you go. You can see it is a float type of data. If you want to print out the type of, let's say, the string, let's say open the parentheses, string. I'm going to also apply another one. Let's say I'm going to check the Boolean value too. Print type, I'm going to put in the is student. If I right click and run dtypes, there you go. The class is a string type, and the last one is student is a Boolean value. So Python can detect up what type of data type is being used on each and every one of these variables. If you want to define it as a set, you will also be able to define it as a set. Okay? So that is basically how you're going to understand and you're going to be able to work with data types in Python. Now let's show you the arithmetic operators. Here I can show you directly. Let's say A is going to be a variable and the value of A is 78. And B is also another variable and this one is 2. Let's say I'm going to print out. I'm going to do is the first thing for the most simple method is addition. For addition, I'm going to keep it like this, colon, after that put in comma, A plus B. That's all that you need to do. Run the types, and there we go, the addition is 80. In the same way, we will be able to do the subtraction and multiplication too. Let's put in the print, let's say subtraction. Subtraction, colon, comma, A minus B. If I want to do the multiplication, comma, A asterisk B. I can also do the division. Here I'm going to put in print, double quotation, division, comma, A slash B. If you want to run them, you can see subtraction is 76, multiplication is 56, and division is 39.0 or 39 in this case. You can also do floor division, you can do modulus, and also do exponent. If you want to do floor division, you have to first off put in print, floor division, comma. Now for floor division, it is quite simple. In division, you use one of these obliques or slashes. But for floor division, put in 2 and then put in B. If you want to do modulus, which is basically percentage, type in print, let's say modulus, comma, A percentage B. If you want to do exponent, type in print, type in exponent, colon, A double asterisk, and then put in B. Then I'm going to right click on it, run dtypes. You can see there is an error right over here. Put in a comma right over here, and let's run this. There we go. Exponent is 6048, like 84. Floor division is 39, and modulus is 0. So floor division and different of division is that division is going to contain, let's say, a float value, but the floor division is going to make it an integer. So all of these are great for showing how to calculate totals, discounts, or even the average value, what you want to find. Now, the next thing that I want to show you are the comparison operators. Now, the comparison operators are to compare the values. Let's say I'm going to use x. X is going to be 7 and y is going to be 10. Here, I'm going to put in print, let's say x is double equal to y. We're going to compare if the x is equal to y, which is 7 if it is equal to y. If it shows me off as false, then it means it is correct because 7 is not equal to 10. Here, I'm going to print out another value. Let's say I'm going to put in x, exclamation, put in equal y. Let's do another one. Print x greater than y. I'm also going to put in print x less than or equal to y. If I run all of these again, you will see that there is false. The next one is true, which is not equal to y. Then we have false because x is not greater than y. And you can see y is greater than x, or it is equal. Even if I put in 10 over here, it is still going to show me as the last value as true, because we are showing if it is equal or greater than x. We can do the same thing in the opposite. It will still show me as true. So this is useful for conditions and decision making. Now let's show you the last type of operators, which are logical operators. Let's say I'm going to put in the age value, which is going to be 18 in this case. And then I'm going to put in a Boolean value as ticket, which is true. Here, I'm going to print out age. This is what I want to put in, greater or equal to 18 has, or let's say and has ticket. This is a logical gate, which is going to show me as true because this person is greater or equal to 18. Let's say print, I'm going to put in age is less than 18 or has ticket. This is going to show me also as true. Then I'm going to put in print, let's say not gate has ticket, which is going to show me as false if it doesn't meet up any of these criteria. Run the D types, and if it shows you off true, true, and last one is false, then it means the logical operators are also working, which helps in writing logic like login system, eligibility check, and so on. So now you know everything about the data types, variables, and also the operators. So thank you for watching this class up till the very end, and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you still have any confusion or any question about any part of this lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of Python automation.